Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. Low effort Sunday. Let's browse the new LEGO releases coming in January 2025. Of course, I have the themes narrowed down to City, Creator 3-in-1, and Ninjago because in this family, that's what we enjoy. So 3-in-1 typewriter, that's just not my deal. Now, 3-in-1 Medieval Dragon. Okay. My problem with this is you make a lot of sacrifices as a LEGO designer in order to build a 3-in-1 set. And so the detail on this set is just not going to be as good as a bunch of the dragons that get released in the Ninjago line. And so while I would really, really love to like this set, yeah, the detail just is not there. The B build is not that great, and the C build is even worse. And the way these 3-in-1s always work is all the parts in the box will be used for the A build, and then the B build is a little simpler, uses a little fewer parts, and the C build will be the simplest of all and use the least parts. So it's really hard to come up with 3 builds like that that are really winners. A couple years ago, they had the shark, whale, anglefish, and squid. It was a 4-in-1 because you had to go on the website and find the secret instructions for the whale build. And that one was an absolute winner on every one of them. I do not like this dragon, probably won't be getting it. Donut truck. Okay, so in our Lego City upstairs at the beach, there is a boardwalk where all the food trucks are. And of course, I will absolutely be getting the donut truck to add to that. And look, even better, just like the one, let's see, just like the burger truck last year. Do they not have a picture? Oh man, so here it is. The actual food vending part of the truck comes off. I think that's so great. I don't use it, but I think it's great to add more playability. So when kids want to be like, oh, I'm going to imagine that the truck comes here and then it stops and it, for some reason, leaves the donut making part and then the truck drives away. And they can imagine that and have fun with it. So it just gives an extra degree of playability. I always buy the food trucks. I absolutely love them. And it's nice to see them branching out to different types of food. You know, for a lot of years, they were doing a lot of hot dog stands and hot dog trucks and ice cream trucks. And they've had a couple burger trucks in the last few years. They had the Burger Monster truck about 4 or 5 years ago, and then the burger truck last year. And so donut truck is a great addition. I just wish they would add more stuff. Give us an actual taco truck. Give us a falafel truck. You know, there's plenty of other types of food trucks. Like, give us a noodle truck. You know, there's so much space they can explore. I'm gonna be irritated when we get another hot dog truck and another ice cream truck because we've got so many of those. Okay, moving on. 3-in-1 bunny, not my cup of tea. Camper van, and I'll go ahead and open that one. Yeah, so camper van, $30. I kind of like this. There was a camper van about 2 or 3 years ago in the lineup. It was not as big as this. It did open up the same way, and it had the overhead sleeping area the same as this one does. Interestingly, it was also a man and wife couple with a baby, like this one is. I like this, and I like the detail on the side, the mountain scene, the way you kind of have on real camper vans where they run the big stenciling and the stickering all down the side of it. Really cool. I think I will probably get this. Even though one thing, when you start buying a lot of Lego, you end up with tons of vehicles and you wish they had more buildings. So you get to the point where you become a lot more discriminating on the vehicles. The 4x4 mountain truck, I love the colors. I love the side paneling, again, with the mountains on it. I love the map piece. It looks great. And, you know, one of the dreams that I have with my kids is we want to one day have a Lego mountain table, because right now we've got kind of an ocean and beach table and we've got a city table. I'd love to have a mountain table also. I probably just need to buy a bigger house, but I think this set is also a winner. I think there's a lot of great imagination you can do with this. I think the winch absolutely sets it off. I think that winch is just awesome. Like, kids will put that winch around stuff and then crank on the winch to unstick the truck out of mud. Like, kids are going to love that. That's something you always need to think about with Lego that you're going to buy with your kids, is what is the playability of this set? What can they imagine? And that's something your kids will inform you about that. You'll observe them playing with it and you'll figure out how they like to enjoy sets. Okay, so these are new this year. It's a set of boxcar racers. So they have this set of two. This is a little airplane, a little hospital bed. Very cute, $10, perfectly priced. I love everything about it, but I'm not going to buy it because I just don't have a use for it. I don't have a place where I can really see putting this and having fun with it. I think it's a really cool idea. I think it's going to sell wonderfully. It's adorable as hell, but I'm not interested. Last year, they had some go-karts. They had a go-kart set. It was two little go-karts, and they were amazing. Grandpa got the set for one of my kids for their birthday. And I wanted more of those. I wanted a go-kart track. I had an idea to build my own go-kart track, but I wanted more go-karts, maybe like an obnoxiously bright, indoor, neon lit go-kart track. Like that's what was in my mind. And then like I wanted Lego to build that. And so I'm a little sad to see that they're not carrying over go-karts into 2025, and now they've gone with boxcar racing. Cute models, but just not my thing. Space Robot, don't care for that. Wild Animals, Surprising Spider, I don't really care for those kind of models. Here, they've gotten the license with F1. Come on, load up. There we go. They've gotten the F1 license, and so they have a bunch of F1 branded stuff this year, even though the Red Bull car does not have Red Bull on it because this is made for kids. So another 18-wheeler, it's funny, this thing happens in the Lego community where Lego will go a number of years without making any huge vehicles, typically 18-wheelers and large crane trucks and things like that. And people will complain that, hey, we want some huge vehicles. And so now just recently, we've gotten like the esports arena truck. We got the Lego delivery 18-wheeler. We got the huge crane truck last year. We've got this one. So like in the last year, we've gotten at least 4 really big vehicles. And then people will start complaining, oh my God, too many big vehicles. They can't turn around the corners in my Lego city. They're just unplayable. And so like you can never make people happy with this stuff. F1, I'm only mildly interested in F1 as a sport, but this doesn't really speak to me. And man, race cars is another thing that you will just end up with so many of as you get more and more Lego. So here are some more box cars. Another set, $9.99, an absolute winner. It's a pizza slice car and a fire truck car. Again, I love them, but I'm not going to buy them. And the box car racing ramp. Now it's got a hot dog car and a toilet car. Again, I think the design of these is amazing. $50 for the ramp and the cars. That's okay. It's pretty good. But again, I don't see my kids having fun with this for long. It's the kind of thing where they would want to let them roll down the ramp and run down the street in our Lego city and crash into stuff. And they would laugh hysterically for, an hour or so. And eventually they'd get really tired of it. Because I think the actual, racing playability of the set just doesn't really exist. Okay, what else? Oh, the lifeguard truck. Okay, so on our Lego ocean and beach table, we have the lifeguard stand, I believe from 2022. We've got a couple other lifeguard rescue vehicle sets. I am definitely getting this one. $25 is a good price. I like that it's a big 4-wheel drive kind of SUV truck. And hey, it comes with another shark. So I think it's good. I like the wetsuit minifigure. That's nice. First aid kit. Really good set. I think it's concise. It's good. It fits into my city. I'm definitely going to buy it. What is this? Dragonian Storm Village. So this is the first Ninjago that's come up. Of course, I did check Ninjago on the themes list for this search return. I've been looking for a long time for some Ninjago buildings. My kids really, really love Ninjago. It is perfectly, as an IP, it is perfectly designed for children because it has dragons, race cars, airplanes, submarines, undead, fighting, ninjas. Like it has every single thing that young boys love. And my kids just absolutely eat up Ninjago. And then it's an IP that's wholly owned by Lego. So they don't have any licensing issues. The whole thing is just genius from a business standpoint. I've been wanting to get a Ninjago building for a long time, but I just never see one that I really like and that I really feel like has good playability. And I don't think this is it either. Red sports car, $10. Doesn't do anything for me. Again, I have tons of little cars like that. Wild Animals Panda Family. Yeah, not my thing. Red Farm Tractor with trailer and sheep. The interesting thing about this as a $20 set is you could just about just keep the sheep, keep the dog, keep the little lamb, keep the food and the tool items, throw everything else away, and it would still be a good deal just for the normal cost of Lego animals. The F1 Pit Stop and Pit Crew. Again, if you're into the F1 theme, I think this is a winner for you. I'm not particularly attracted to it, and I would just go nuts and want to build an entire racing stadium. So, man, I got to stay away from stuff like this. Page 2. The ambulance. So, I think this ambulance is good. I like the stretcher. I like that it includes a little, a person on a skateboard to be your patient. It has the little cast piece so you can put the bandage around their hand. It works well if you don't already have a hospital in your Lego city that came with its own ambulance. I think this works great and only $20. So I like it a lot, but we have a hospital, so we won't be buying this. What do we got? Zane's Ultra Combiner Mech. Oh, man. And this is where some of these Ninjago sets get so awesome. So it breaks into a dragon and some kind of four-wheel buggy and a plane? Does it break into all three at once? It looks like it. I don't see any pieces repeating between here. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, I expect at some point this season, one of my kids at least will put their money together and want to buy this. That is pretty cool. I typically let my kids buy their own Ninjago. It's teaching them a lot about deferred gratification and saving their money and things like that. So they've bought $100 and $100+ Ninjago sets before with money they've saved up. That is really cool. I like that. Just basic race car, $13. Yeah, that's a pass for me. Yellow construction wheel loader. Oh boy. So I wish I could take the camera into my living room right now. We still have all our Lego construction site equipment out on the floor because Grandpa got us the excavator and the giant crane for Christmas. And we spent a couple days, all of us working, putting them together, and we got out all the rest of our Lego construction equipment. This is solid. A loader. A couple years ago, they had just a normal kind of bulldozer, a small lightweight bulldozer build. I like this. I'll definitely get one. I would consider getting two just because they're small. And when you have an active construction site, you kind of want that excitement of a lot of vehicles driving around. Maybe two. They're only $14. Something like this at this price point will eventually get marked down on Amazon to $12 or even $10 sometime. So maybe I'll put it off for 6 or 8 months and then I'll wait to see it at that kind of price later in the season. I really like it though, to add to our Lego construction site. Cat and a ball of yarn and a mouse. Again, these 3-in-1s, you make so many sacrifices. Look how deformed that mouse looks. The ball of yarn is not nearly as good as they could have built, but they have to make those kind of sacrifices in order to use those pieces in the B build and the C build. Modular Galactic Spaceship. Now, if you saw the 2024 Lego lineup, they brought back the space sub-theme. They put it under City. They brought it back for the first time in several years. It was very, very strong. Lots of good models. I really loved it. I would still like to go and just buy the entire theme, even if I don't have a place to put it to play with it right now. Just put it in the closet and open it with my kids in a couple years. This is a really good addition, and I'm really optimistic seeing that they're keeping the space theme this year, that they're adding to it. So hopefully space can become like its own sub theme. It can become evergreen like City is. I hope. Because historically they've dropped it for many years at a time. And the space theme in 2024 and now continued into this year, it has this modular thing where you can split this off. So you can leave this as a little base on the surface. And then you can have this, kind of blast off and leave it behind. Really, really cool. Very playable. What else? Okay, this 3-in-1 air race plane. Yeah, I don't like this. This is not minifigure scale. It is subscale. And yeah, I just don't like these kind of cheap sets like this. Sora's Dragon Spinjitzu Spinner. So the spinners are actually coming back. Awesome. So that's cool. They don't always have spinners available for the Spinjitzu stuff in the Ninjago line. It's cool to see them coming back. I'll definitely be getting those. Zane's Battle Suit Mech. $10 set. Not a lot there. Yeah, I'd probably say save your money and buy something bigger. More Spinjitzu. So you can use a little launcher to make them start spinning on a hard surface, and then they hit each other, and one of them knocks the other over. Very cool. Lloyd's Green Forest Dragon. Maybe a good model. Only $20. That's the kind of thing that is good to buy for your kids' friends for their birthday parties. More F1 cars. I just don't dig those. Okay, I'm going to show you this one. The Scrapyard with Cars. Now, this is another one where I don't really dig it. I think it's cool, but I don't dig it. So they started this modularity thing a couple years ago where you can take these cars and you can pull the bumpers off and swap them around, the front and rear bumpers. That's kind of neat for playability for kids. This Scrapyard has, the little crane, the arm. It has a car crusher where, you pretend you put the car in there and then it ejects this other brick. It's not actually crushing the car. It's just ejecting this brick as if it crushed it. And that's the crushed car ejecting from the crusher. So cool from a playability standpoint. There's just always other city things that I would like to have instead. If I'm looking at this kind of price point, $80, well, for about another 20, you can get the dock and cargo ship set from last season, and I would rather have that. Cool set, but just not my thing. More F1 Garage. Again, another thing, if you love this F1 lineup, if you like F1 and you want to get all of these, this is definitely a cool model for them to offer. A garage with all the computers and everything to do the diagnostics on the car. I think that's really neat. But again, just kind of not my thing. Ross and Aaron's Superstorm Jet. Oh, yes. Now, this is why Ninjago is so great. Why little kids love it so much. Look at that. A four-winged dragonfly-style jet. And then it battles against dragons and flying dragon men. This is why kids love Ninjago so much. It's such an awesome idea. Oh, it flaps? Does it really flap? Does it have little pictures of arrows on it showing that it flaps? Oh, I hope it flaps. It must flap. If it flaps, I'm definitely going to buy it. Another race car, Lloyd's pullback race car. I wonder if this is one where you kind of pull it back and it spring loads. They've done some cool stuff with suspensions and drive systems on Lego cars in the last couple of years. They've started to have a few cars like off-road buggies with squishable suspensions that kind of let the car bank when you're going around turns, neat stuff like that. So it'd be cool if they had a spring-loaded drive system on this. The only problem is we already have a Lloyd's race car. We have, Aaron's race car and several other of the guys' race cars. We are drowning in Ninjago race cars. Spinjitzu Temple. Now, does this have... Okay, so you really just gotta imagine. I was hoping this would have like a little enclosed arena for you to take the Spinjitzu toys and spin them around. That's what I was really hoping for. It doesn't even come with the Spinjitzu spinners, but it's the Spinjitzu Temple. Come on, guys. Man, there was so much potential here. Just didn't make it. And it's kind of expensive. $40 for that piece count is pretty expensive. Yeah, I don't dig it. If I saw it for $25 on clearance on Amazon late this year, yeah, maybe I'd get it then. And page 3. Last page. Let's see how many are actually on there. The 4+ fire truck. We already have the strongest fire department in any Lego city. I don't think anyone can even light a candle without the fire department showing up at their house in our Lego city. You already have a fire station, additional fire trucks, firefighting airplanes, a whole fleet of firefighting helicopters, firefighting jetpack men. So a boxy 4+ fire truck, I will not be getting that. Kai's Mech Storm Rider. Okay, let's see. Is this a mech that detaches from the Storm vehicle? Yes, it is. Yeah, see, that's the kind of playability kids love, where they can imagine, like, the combined vehicle flying around and then it drops the mech off to battle. That's a really cool idea. So I bet one of my kids will want to buy that at some point this season. Very nice. Look at the prints on those. Man, the printing on these minifigs is just amazing. I got some of the, I believe, Series 26 minifigs for my kids for Christmas. I mean, they're printing on the arms now. It's so amazing. Could you imagine when we were kids in the 90s playing with plain Lego back then, if we could have seen where the stuff was today? Unbelievable. So this set is kind of cool. It's these 3 vehicles, and they all come apart. Let me show you here. So they all come apart into 3, and then you can mix and match them in zany ways. I don't care for it. I don't want to play with this. I don't want to spend my money to buy this. But man, I bet kids could have a heck of a time. One of my kids is a real outside of the box thinker and always coming up with zany ways to play with stuff. And I think he would absolutely just adore this set. Maybe I'll just buy it for him. But yeah, neat idea. Not really something I dig, but I can definitely tell there's going to be a following for this. There's definitely a niche in the market for this idea. And then we get into some books. Arc Dragon of Focus. Oh man, this is the stuff where Ninjago really shines when it starts building stuff like multi-headed, 5-legged, 6-winged dragons that fire missiles. Oh man, show us some better pictures here. Man, the pictures really stink of this. Okay, so this is coming in March. So they do a big release wave at the beginning of January, and then they do a more minor release wave in March. Comes with a ninjutsu spinner and the launcher. 2-headed dragon. Oh, man. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. This is another one of those where I expect that my kids at some point will save up their money and buy it. Anything else? Books? Thundering Dragon of Chaos. Man, I like the sound of that. Oh, the big wings. The big printed wings. Stencil cut. Wow, and the chains hanging off of them. Wow. I mean, look how psyched that kid is for it. Really cool. Okay, and he holds onto this treasure box with the chains. Oh, man. That is amazing. This is the stuff where Ninjago just absolutely shines. It's just this kind of like fantastic creatures, fantastic vehicles, and then it's all based around fighting. And if you have young boys, you know they love nothing more than fighting, turning everything into a weapon. And man, Ninjago is such a great IP for it. So wow, I am really excited for this Lego season. I think that donut truck, I'm probably going to buy that pretty soon right off the bat. Several of these other ones, I'll look for deals or I'll put them on my birthday list and someone will buy them for me. Golly, amazing stuff. It's just crazy to me every time I look at the Lego that's available nowadays and I think about the Lego that we had back in the 90s when I was a kid and how comparatively plain it was back then. And the advantage we have now is we have 30 additional years of every year Lego has some amount of budget for creating new molds, for designing new pieces, for engineering new shapes that will allow them to make the models more intricate, for coming up with new designs for movable joints and different connectors and things that will allow them to make more articulated models and to make them better. They have additional colors in the lineup. The number of piece colors today is like 5 times what it was when we were kids. And the number of pieces that are printed now instead of always being stickers like when we were kids, it's just amazing. It's amazing how far it's come and how people who were kids in the 80s and 90s are now Lego designers. And we have our first batch of Lego designers that really had a lifelong love of Lego and now have carried that in to being designers for Lego. And so it just bears this amazing fruit of awesome models, amazing pieces, more and more intricacy. And then Lego additionally leans in to building models for adults. And it's so much fun when somebody gets you one of those big models for your birthday and you just get to be a kid again, just building this awesome Lego model for your birthday. So, Low Effort Sunday, guys. Longer than most of my videos. Let me know what you think.